Yeah, nature hour. Thank you for that info. That's fascinating.
Okay, hello everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Via and the Yoga Tribe, the MoveEasy Yoga Tribe. It is March 27th, 2021. We're going to start in the same way we always do, lying on your back. Maybe you'll have a couple washcloths under your head. You just want a neutral cervical spine and otherwise the entire spine. Neutral. Watching your breath. Palms up, feet on the floor, knees bent, or your knees could be up on a chair or a sofa. Just slowing down, bringing your attention into the room, watching your breath. I am a student of my breath. Oops, there's some noise.
Wow.
Let me see if this is going to. I have my headphones on. I don't know whether they're going to work. I don't think so. Take a couple more breaths. And then let's come into vagus nerve reset. So remember, you can have your hands behind your head, or you can have your occipital ridge on a set of therapy balls. But whatever you do, don't move anything except your eyeballs, and shift your eyeballs to the right and wait for a sigh, yawn, swallow, or gulp. Switch to the other side if you haven't already. Shifting the eyeballs to the left. Watching, waiting for an involuntary sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. And when you're ready, come back to the center and repeat this 2 more times. And left, right, left, without my cueing it. If the drilling goes on, again, it's about right above my head. Maybe I'll move to the other end of my apartment. So might have to move my entire setup and see if that helps. I could also mute when I'm not talking. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to move to head ramping. You can stay here. Your hands can be behind you, or you can rest your occipital ridge, the back of your skull, on a set of therapy balls. I'd like to suggest something that you add something here. You can put your tongue, you can press it against the front of the roof of your mouth, just at the edge of the teeth, or you can press it, curl your tongue while you're doing this. So you press your head, the back of your head, into the therapy balls or your hands. Your chin dips, and you wait a couple breaths and then release. And remember, if you'd like to exercise the muscles, strengthen the muscles along the bottom of your chin, you can use those two tongue movements that we've done separately before. You can add them here. Head ramping. I've always said this is good to counteract forward head and rounded shoulders. But the other thing I think, if you're, nobody here is living in Mexico, but but maybe this happens too in other places, but if you're walking and you're older, I find one of the things I'm finding, I'm always looking down to be sure I'm not tripping on a something, because the streets here and the sidewalks are so uneven. So that is a roundedness also that can be counteracted with this move. Do two more. And then whenever you're ready, we'll move to breath work. I'd like you to spend about 3 minutes on your back, Veloma breathing. So Veloma breath is just making an inhale, dividing your inhale into 3 parts. On the first inhale, fill the first third of the lungs, pause. Then a second inhale, second third of the lungs, pause. And then finally, the last inhale, filling the entire lungs. This is not probably something you're going to see by watching Kathy. Although maybe you'll notice, maybe she'll be doing little, sort of almost like a little sniff. And then the exhale is just normal. Inhale, pause, inhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale normally. And now we're going to move to the hypopressive. Why don't we do the proning hypopressive? So getting onto your hands and knees, and then dropping to your elbows, and then making a triangle with your hands clasp. Try to create a straight line. Now you might need to put something underneath your head, a washcloth or a brick. Straight line between your, from your spine all the way down to the floor. Inhale, 3 breaths. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath, inhale. Exhale. All the way out. Then at the end of that breath, hold your breath out, spread your rib cage, keep your belly soft. 1, 2, 3, 4, no breath. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale and exhale. You can drop back into a little child's pose for a minute. Come on up again. Proning hypopressive. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath, inhale. Exhale all the way out. Hold your breath at the bottom of your exhale. Hold your breath, no breath. Spread your rib cage, soften your belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale, exhale, come into a child's pose to rest. And then find your way onto your back. We're going to do some basic movements at the hip. You're going to lie on your back. Maybe you'll have washcloths under your head. Your knees are bent. We're going to do, this is really just a supine marching, but it's called leg lifts. Starting with the right leg, just lift your leg up to 90 degree and then bring it down. And you can add your breath to this. Inhale to prepare, exhale. Let's see, come up. And then, no, let's see. Let's do it the other direction. So inhale to come up, lift your leg. Exhale to bring it down. Try to be very deliberate and aware of your movement. Where is the movement happening? It should be coming from the hip. You're not moving the knee, you're moving at the hip. Up and then down. And inhale up and then exhale down. Keep the knee at the 90-degree angle or almost at a 90-degree angle. Come on up one more time. Drop your heel a little bit when you get up there, Kathy. Drop it down, your heel, so that your shin is parallel to the floor. Yes, that's more like it. And then come on down. Switch sides. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, come down. So make the movement happen at the hip joint. Become aware of the breath and the movement. Leg lifts. Basically, exercising the hip joint. 2 more. Slower is better. You should feel the abdominals kick in here. And pause, stop. Now we're going to do knee drops out to the side. So starting with the right knee, just drop your knee out to the side. Remember that you're going to try to keep the pelvis even on the floor. So this you may not be able to drop all the way out to the outside. Maybe just a little bit. You might even want to put your left hand on top of your left hip to keep that, remind that hip to stay down. When I first started this, I could do only a very small movement because I paid really good attention to that lift that can happen on the other hip. Do one more. And then come on back to the other side. You can inhale out and exhale up, back, always breathing, always a breathing pattern. Usually you can figure out the breathing pattern. Whichever direction feels like more effort to you should be your exhale. But it's not a crime if you accidentally started returning on an inhale. One more. Come on up, bring your legs into tabletop. And start crisscrossing. So the legs, and this one can be pretty slow, but, and try to get deeper. So farther across, farther under, farther over. And both legs are crossing, crisscrossing. And you should feel the abdominals here. And try to keep your legs in a knees and hips at a 90-degree angle. So check and see if your knees are closer to your chest. Then you need to bring them back so they're 90 degrees. Now speed it up a little bit. Speed it up. And now stop. Drop your feet. Grab your strap. We're going to do leg stretch 1 and 2. And then at the next thing we're going to do after 1 and 2 is therapy balls at the end. At the Obturator Internus. First, leg stretch number 1. And I'm going to put a timer on for you. You're going to get a little more time on this one. Okay. So staying here, be sure to Be aware of your hip, your right hip staying on the floor. It stays on the floor. If you have issues with keeping your legs straight, you can bend your knee a little bit. Your strap should be down in the center or even maybe toward the heel. So if it's up too far, you'll get less work. Okay, staying on this side, grabbing the straps with your one hand and take your leg out to the right. This has the same challenge. Remember, you're not going to take it out any further than it can go with both hips remaining level on the floor. And you may want to put your left hand on your ASIS, on that little bony point on the front of your pelvis. Just keep it there. Not everyone's going to come down as far as Kathy is down. Use your core also here. Five more seconds. And come on back. Switch sides. Left foot in a strap. Remember, the strap is at the middle of the arch or a little farther down on the arch. Legs straight up or slightly bent. Just holding on and breathing. Keep both hips down on the floor. So you're not going to tilt you're not going to do a posterior tilt. Stay on this side. Drop your left leg out to the left. Remember to try to keep your hips even on the ground. You don't have to go out as far as Kathy's going out. I'm only out. I'm doing this. I don't always do this with you, but I'm doing it with you, and I'm only out about, I don't know, 20 degrees. Because I know it's important to keep my hips even. Some of this is defined by muscle, and some of it's defined by the shape of your socket, your hip socket, which is a bone thing and will never change. Just so you know, some people won't be able to get very far at all because of the bone, the little cup that holds the femur, head of the femur. Okay, from here, you're going to have a brick and a set of therapy balls. Set the therapy balls, set the brick underneath your sacrum, not up at your waist, underneath the sacrum, and then the balls on top of that. Now, depending on you, maybe you won't need a ball, a brick. Maybe your balls will be smaller or your brick will be smaller. So what you want to do is actually the ball is going to go, the set of balls is horizontal as far down as you can get your balls, but not at the tailbone, just above the tailbone, and then bring your legs up into tabletop.
Okay.
Tabletop, bend your knees, bring your legs up above the balls, and now open and close, slowly open and close, and keep going. This is a release of the Obturator Internus, which is this little muscle that attaches to both the pelvis and the hip. If it starts shaking, if you start shaking, that's because the Obturator Internus is loving this. This is just exactly what you should be doing. This muscle is an important part of the external rotation of the hip. It also just keeps the femur stable in the socket. Do 2 more. And then go ahead and drop your feet, lift your hips, remove the ball, and come up to a floor. No, let's come up to a floor seated position. Find a cross-legged position. We're gonna do my favorite staple for the class, side bending on the floor seated side bending. You're just gonna take your arm out, right arm out, left arm up and over. Keep your hips on the floor one more time. The bend is happening at the thoracic spine, mid and upper back. Just stay here and enjoy this. Breathe. And now bring your elbow forward to create a different stretch on the armpit. And you can bring your elbow up, and now bring your torso up. Switch sides. Left arm along the mat. Right arm up and over. And stay here and breathe. Doing your best side bend. You really want to try to have your entire body lined up, as if you're moving between 2 panes of glass. Until you move your elbow, by the way, but that'll happen in a minute. Then you break out of the pain. And then go ahead and move your elbow forward. Breaking the pane of glass. Stretching your armpit. Come on back, elbow first, and then the torso. So we're going to repeat this one more time. Right arm slides along the, you have to switch your legs, everybody. Right arm along the mat, left arm up and over. And stay here and breathe. The spine is moving between 2 panes of glass, side bending. Hips even on the floor. Left elbow, the top elbow comes forward. Big stretch. Latissimus dorsi right along the back of the armpit. Come on up. Elbow first, then torso, and the spine, other side, last one. And I forgot to tell you to switch your legs, but I hope you did. And then the top arm comes forward, elbow comes forward. Just adding a different stretch here. You're still side bending though. Bring your elbow up. Bring your torso up. And just close your eyes and see what happened. What happened? How does it feel to do 2 side bends? Proprioception. What does it feel like inside my body and outside? Now we're going to do a spine twist. Left hand on right knee. You can cross your leg, recross your legs. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind you, like a spider fingers. Rotate the thoracic spine. Once you've found your spine twist, you may want to add rib cage slide, but try not to use your shoulders and maintain your spine twist. So just sliding the ribs from side to side. And come on back, all the way back. Other side. Right hand on left knee, left arm behind you, spider fingers. Rotate your spine. Don't use your arms to do it. Your arms are for structure, but not for twist. So twist at the vertebra, at the spine. And then add, if you like, add a rib cage slide. But maintain your spine twist, your spinal rotation. Switch your legs again. See if you can do a flat back hip hinge from a floor seated position. So coming forward, you can even use your hands to crawl forward. But I want you to crawl forward with your chest, keep your chest open, maybe even open your arms up a little wider to keep your chest open. Crawl forward, but as far as you can and still maintain a flat back. Maybe you can get your elbows on the floor. And then whenever you're ready, flop down and cross your arms and see if you can make a little rounded, it's not a child's pose exactly, but it's a rounded, relaxed pose where you have rounded your upper back a little bit, but I want you to make the curve as long as possible. This is a hip opener. Come on up to seated, just crawl up, use your arms to crawl yourself up. Put your hands on, we haven't done this before, this is an oldie, an old yoga I've known from the beginning, a yoga pose is called hip circles. So you can recross your legs if you want. Put your hands on your knees, one hand on your left hand on your left knee, your right hand on your right knee. And then starting at going over to the right, so you take your whole torso and across towards the knee as far as you can get down. And then sweep the chest and the head across to the other knee. And then come up to seated. And then keep going. Let's go to the other side then. Sorry, Kathy. Go to the other side, left side, sweep across. Come up when you hit the other knee. And do that a couple more times. Just alternating sides. Sweep across. to the other knee. You can use your hands to push you away. And your hands are on your knees, and then just come back down and sweep across. Use your hands to push, and then come up to seated. And go down again, and do one more set. Go down to the right. Sweep across, chest stays open, hands pushing on your knees, and then come up. Come up to seated, and now last one. Go down to the left side, left knee. Sweep your entire body across in front of you, and then come up to seated. Good. We're going to do some get-ups. So the first one, as you know, is requires some sort of a box or a chair in front of you, or sofa. And what you do is come onto your hands and knees. And then remember, if you have trouble with your knees, you may want to cushion them. And then you're going to put one hand on the box or the chair, and then the opposite knee comes forward into a lunge. And from the lunge position, use your hands and your leg to bring yourself up to standing. Come back down. We'll do it twice, once on the other side now. And this time, the other leg, the other arm, the other leg. And come on up using your hand, your core, and your leg to come up to standing. And now a squat, a resting squat. If your feet don't come down, mine aren't coming down today. If your feet aren't coming down, then I'd like you to put something under them. I'm putting a mobility strap under mine. Kathy's are down. Remember, you can sit on a brick. We're going to be here for 2.5 more minutes. The way you become good at this is to do it. Do it more. Do it again. Do it whenever you get a chance. You can put your elbows inside your knees and press out. Try not to lean round forward, so a straight back. We have 1.5 minutes left. The next thing we're going to do is a plank on the floor or on a with your hands on a chair. Actually, what let's make it, let's see. Okay, yeah, plank. So the first thing you're going to do is come into your hand onto your hands and knees. Now, then you're going to extend one leg, send the right leg back. Just take it all the way back. Keep your toe on the floor, all the way back, and then extend the other one back. Now, if this is too much for you, you can come back down to your knees. But drop your hip a little bit, Kathy, and lift your head a little bit. So think of it as this is a straight line. Nice, nice. We're going to stay here for a minute. A minute. Or come down if you need to. You can be on your knees instead of your toes. Still try to create that straight line though. If your wrists are bothering you, you can come down onto your elbows. Or you can put something under your wrist like a mobility strip. You should feel core work here. Whoops. We need to do this more often, Kathy.
Yeah.
A minute is too long. It may be too long for everybody else too. Try to work in your home practice this week. Try to work up to a minute. We have 15 more seconds. And it's okay to come down and then come back up. Breathe. Remember that your head ramping, part of this, it looks like a head ramping movement where your head is back and in line with the thoracic spine. Come up to standing, everybody. We're going to do some standing poses at the wall. Starting with back bend at the wall. Okay. Find a wall. Now, just a minute. Find a wall. Caitlin, do you want to tell people what you do here? Is this the one that you use the frame of the door? I think it is. Can you unmute and tell people how you do this? So Caitlin has,
Yeah.
okay, Caitlin has everybody knows how to do the regular one. Caitlin uses a door jamb to frame her arms this is for the twist though. This is not for this back bend, is it?
Well, okay.
Do you do it for both?
Yeah, because I don't have a wall.
Okay, say what you.
I don't use the door jamb for this backbend, but.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and up and over, you guys. Arms come up and over. You're not thrusting the hips forward. They should be directly underneath the knees and above the knees and the ankles. And we're going to stay here for 40 seconds. This is a very nice back bend. If it's hard for you to do, you don't like it, then you can sit in a chair, put your hands behind you, grab onto something at the bottom back of the chair and lift your chest that way and create a back extension for yourself. Come on out of that. Now, we're going to do the spine twist, starting with the right shoulder.
You want me to show you?
Yes. I'm going to.
Can anyone see me? Or
I'm going to pin you.
Yeah. Why don't you pin Caitlin?
Okay, except you're really dark.
I'm going to try and make my camera closer.
Oh, to the door. Over to the door. She goes over to her door.
Because I have no wall.
Because she has no wall. But she can
Backlit.
door jam helps. This is what I thought was interesting.
Okay. No, okay, that's about it.
Yeah, that's good. I think
Okay.
So when she, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
There you are.
Okay. So she's,
You need to pin her.
oh, I
But
did,
yeah,
I didn't pin.
spotlight me, Mom.
It goes on you.
I need to spotlight her as well.
Spotlight me.
Spotlight her. There you go.
Hold on just a minute. I pinned her, but I didn't spotlight her. Okay. There,
There.
on her left side. So she puts her left foot forward.
Yeah, left foot forward, right
Right.
foot back.
Now she
Mhm.
bends her elbows, and now this, she puts it against the door jamb. So try this if you have a door jamb. If you don't, just do the regular version. But
Just a little bit.
and she can talk about it if she can talk while she
Oh,
moves.
that's worse, isn't it?
Yeah, the problem with that is the light. Yeah.
I was just trying to show you my hands.
No, it's pretty. It was pretty good. Whoops! And now it went dark again, Caitlin.
Yeah. It's the light. You're
Well,
right.
this is my main problem. Is I have no walls. I only have windows. Oh, so basically, I don't put my hands on the wall. Like, I can't show you. Like, I'm not doing like this. They're still on the door flat,
Right.
but they're pushing against the door jamb. It's kind of keeping me in place and
So-
helping me.
Yeah, so the door jamb helps her with her rotation and her structure.
Mm-hmm.
But her hands are still on the wall, but the wall of the door, but she pushes against also the frame, the door frame.
Keeps her in the shape.
Keeps her in the frame.
Mm-hmm.
So try that if you want, otherwise, or if you have a door, that would help you do that. But Caitlin, are your hips forward?
No,
Why not?
I know it's weird. But no, they're not. I mean, they're not facing the wall. They're facing sideways. Whatever. They're where they should be.
They're where they should be?
Yes.
Go to the, so turn to the right shoulder to, we'll just see the back of you now. So, and now she rotates. So her legs are in position, she rotates. And she uses the door jamb to kind of freeze her into a really nice twist, basically. And that's what I'm thinking. Breathing and enjoying this rotation. Okay, good job, everybody. I'm going to
All right,
spotlight
Kathy.
Kathy again.
Probably.
We're going to go down to the floor onto all fours for bird dog core. Or this is a little bit like your plank, not quite though, because it's just one side actually. But you'll find something familiar with it. Starting on your hands and knees, and then sliding your right leg back behind you along the mat, and then lifting it parallel to the floor. Slide and lift. The opposite arm goes up to bird dog, this is called. We're going to stay here for 30 seconds. And try to keep your hips and your shoulders level. Your left and right shoulder level, your left and right hip level. And just stay here. You should feel your core. This is a balancing exercise. This is a core exercise. This is a spinal exercise. Now you have 2 more seconds. Come on back. Switch sides. Slide the left leg along. Lift it up to parallel. Right leg, right arm. Sorry. And stay here. Just see how long you can get. The right arm's moving in one direction, the left leg moving in the other direction. The hips are in, shoulders are even. Very nice. Come down onto your belly for back extension, Pilates back extension, prone. If you're on your belly, I like to put a cushion underneath my pubic bone. Arms at the side, palms up. Take an inhale to prepare, and then an exhale to lift your chest, your arms, and your head. And just staying here and breathing, staying as long as you can. In the middle, you may want to lift your chest up just a little higher. Come on down. Inhale and exhale. Come on down. We're going to do it again. This time we're going to go into the airplane arms. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale to come up. Inhale to prepare to come into airplane arms, and then exhale and the arms go out to the side in airplane. Stay here and breathe and stay as long as you want or as long as you can. You may want to lift your chest up just a little higher. Breathing. Building bone, building muscle. Take an inhale to prepare and an exhale to come on down. And now bring your arms out along the mat for a thoracic release. Look to the right, lift your right leg up and over the back of the opposite leg. Keep everything else, keep everything on the arms and the shoulders on the floor. Your leg, your hip can do anything it wants to release the upper back. Basically, you're using your hips and your legs to release the upper back. And come on back, unwind, other side, look to the other side, and do the same thing. The left leg comes up and over, across the opposite leg. Keep everything, the shoulders, the armpits, the hands, chest on the floor. Do anything you want with your legs, wiggling, stretching. Whatever you want with your bottom, the lower body. Using the lower body to release the upper body. And come on back. And find your way onto your back for Yoga Nidra, 61-point guided meditation. Finding a comfortable, warm place. You may want to put a blanket on you. You may want to put a washcloth over your eyes. I'm going to walk you through 61 points in the body. Don't move the body, but move your attention to the body points that I mentioned, starting right now with the breath. And just watching the breath, watching the inhale and the exhale, and the rise and fall of the abdomen. And then bring your attention and awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes the 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Just start to notice your body and your breath. Come back into the room. Stretch your legs out in front of you along the mat and your arms overhead. Stretching both of those limbs, extremities in opposite directions and creating a little space, more space between your rib cage and your pelvis. Just stretching and stretching right and left and both. And right and left and both. And then wiggling your fingers and your toes. And wiggling your fingers and your toes. And wrists and ankles. One direction and then the other. And then hugging your right knee to your chest and then your left. Both knees hug to the chest. And then rocking from side to side. Thanking yourself for bringing yourself to this class and to this little self-care project. Roll all the way to the floor, using your bottom arm as a pillow, using your top arm to have your palm against the floor and bring yourself up to seated to your, and unmute yourself, everybody. We're going to remove the spotlight. I'm going to start my video. We're going to close the class. I'm so sorry, Suzanne, you got the time mixed up, but there you are. Suzanne just arrived.
Hmm.
I know why. I know exactly why. Because she's in Mexico.
Yeah, I'm confused because I came on at 11:30. I thought it was 11:30 for Mexico instead of 12:30. It's 10:30 then.
It's 10:30 for Mexico, but only for one more week. Only for next Tuesday, and next Saturday also, 10:30 if you live in Mexico. But otherwise in the US, it's the same as always.
Oh, well, I thought I turned it on. I'm like, what the heck? This doesn't look like the beginning.
No, this is the end.
Suzanne.
Oh, well.
Okay, let's go ahead and close the class here. Just coming into a prayer pose. Pressing very forcefully. See if you can find your scapula. Don't feel the trapezius though. So keep a relaxed shoulder and still find the scapula. It's good work. And then soften your prayer pose. Lift your skull up towards the ceiling, away from the shoulders, so that you can nod the skull over this the vertebra, cervical vertebra, nodding, bowing, noticing and acknowledging the light in each of us. And knowing that we're all one light. Now we'll say to each other, namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to stop.